Hello, my name is Joe and I review all your favorite TV shows on my channel and on my Patreon. Currently on YouTube, I'm reviewing Severance, Yellow Jackets, The White Lotus, and I just finished Prime Target, which was disappointing. A mess, really. On my Patreon, I'm just finished reviewing Paradise, which has already been renewed for season 2, and I'm currently also reviewing The Pit, and soon to start a quite fun murder mystery crime drama streak. So join. In this video, I will be reviewing Severance Season 2 Episode 8. I will start with a breakdown of the episode, then infer some conclusions from the new information we've been gifted in this episode. Then I will discuss some details you might have missed, potentially miss many more, and I will also give you my predictions/theories for the rest of the season and explore a few ideas, maybe. Honestly, I'm going a bit in deep with the analysis because I was just really in this episode. I was waiting for Cobel to return. If you've been watching my reviews, you know I've been waiting for Cobel to return, and she has. And we finally understand why she has such an important role in the intro of season 2. So I will probably include some timestamps in the description, because if you want to skip around to what interests you most, I will probably be covering more than usual in my reviews. Let's go. Just to start, I have to talk about the initial shot. First of all, very blue. Like the rest of the episode, actually. Very blue, like the rest of the season, apart from Gemma and Mark's flashbacks, which were incredibly melancholic and yellow and cozy and comfortable. But this shot is incredibly blue and a little bit black, and it's just, to me, immediately signals cold, hard, clean, hopeless. However, it also makes us think of the mighty, mighty ocean that every time it breaks against a stone, it has to draw back. The rock is too strong, too sad to be defeated, but a big enough ocean can cover it, and with time erode it. I see a big ocean of disgruntled lumon employees coming. Not just disgruntled employees, as we've learned in this episode and we've seen throughout the entirety of this show, abused people who are recruited into a goddamn cult, who are waking up and starting to fight back the goddamn stone. Rock. And who is this army of lumon disgruntled employees who is starting to fight back? The reintegration lady, Mark, Devon, Irving, Cobel, potentially even Milchick, which I believe him. I trust him. I think he will come back to our side. The big ass wave is coming to take lumon down, and I cannot wait. Like, by the end of this episode, when Cobel was talking to Mark and she was like, tell me everything, and then she drove away. But okay, what happens in this episode? Cobel goes back to her hometown, the place where she grew up, Salt Neck. She goes to visit her old flame that currently works at the cafe. Everything looks very beaten down and destroyed. It's not a good scene. She goes home and confronts her aunt, which also, by the way, what a confusing situation, because in the beginning I thought it's her mother, then I thought it's her sister, and then I was somewhere between aunt and stepmother. And I had to Google it. To figure out it was her aunt. Ambiguous, confusing situation. Thank you, Lumon, for sticking to your style, to your brand. And this is why Cobel appears like that in the intro, looking at the goddamn book that is Lumon, because it was her. She was the one who created all of these wacky-ass procedures. The severance procedure, all of the other stuff that goes along with it, the stuff that allows outies in the severed floor, the stuff that allows innies outside of the severed floor. She was the one who came up with all of it. All of it. That's why she's like that in the intro. I've been waiting for this the entire season. And we find out how. Because apparently Lumon used to have a factory in Salt Neck. Well, maybe Lumon used to be a factory in Salt Neck, or at least have one of many factories in the country was in Salt Neck. Cissy Cobel worked there and subscribed completely to Lumon's philosophy, aka the nine core principles of Kier, or whatever bullshit it is. This was probably why Cobel went to work at the factory as a child, where she met her boo, who was also a child, and where she was recruited by James Kier, because he saw her ideas, thought, they're mine now. He stole her ideas and gave her a scholarship instead, told her, no, this is all of Lumon's knowledge, not yours, all of ours, but I will take the credit, thank you very much. And you can get a scholarship so you can be away at school while your mother dies. Isn't that a great Lumon reward? How generous they are. And listen, the moment I saw that goddamn wooden fireplace thingy and her holding the very fragile paper notebook, I knew that her aunt was going to try to, but she didn't. So now Cobel is on the run. She escaped whoever was coming for her, probably the frolic guy, Dermond. And she escaped. She's driving away. She accepted finally Devon's call and put Mark on the phone and told him, tell me everything. The revolution is starting now. I mean, not starting now. It started many years ago. But now that she's in, things are about to go down. I was so excited by the end of the episode. Anyway, it was so beyond. You can tell that Kier are frauds, because how can you not even think that Cobel is going to try to get revenge? You hire the person who had all of your ideas so you can control her, and then you just fire her? As if that was such a stupid decision from the Kier family. They should have kept her with them. They should have promoted her, because she is the evidence that y'all are frauds. It was beyond stupid to fire Cobel, and I think it just shows that they are beyond stupid as people. So, great job, Helena. And from the conversation between Harmony and her boo, we find out that child labor has been at the core of the labor force of Lumon since always, probably. Cobel's mother is a Lumon hater, as is everyone in that town, so probably Cissy was the one that encouraged Harmony to go work at the factory. And I mean, you can tell it's a poor town. You can tell they probably didn't have a choice, that a factory came into their town, set in, and offered everyone jobs, including the children. Of course you're gonna go. You want to help your family with the bills. They didn't have a choice. But because Cobel went from her lunatic fanatic aunt's probably encouragement, we have to think back to the child that is currently working at Lumon's severed floor, because we know she's working a fellowship. So it's the same thing that they did with Cobel. And now I'm thinking two things. One, her parents must be fanatics. She either joined the cult because of her fanatic parents or guardians or whoever's taking care of her, or she was born into it. Probably born into parents who were already fanatics of the goddamn cult and just allowed their daughter to be taken for this goddamn fellowship. And now that we know that Harmony was offered a fellowship under those circumstances, can we assume or infer maybe that the child was given the fellowship for the same reason? Was she awarded this fellowship because she showed promise, because she was a daughter of fanatics, or was she awarded this fellowship at the Lumon's severed floor because she already had ideas for inventions or whatever the hell they want to call it at Lumon, and they wanted to take advantage of that? So they schooled her, indoctrinated her into the cult. Imagine the amount of indoctrination, the amount of abuse they have to put a child through so that they can be like 10 or 11 and literally be working as a floor manager or a team manager. And right about that point, we see the factory and the red building with the Lumon written on it. I was thinking, is this what Cold Harbor is? Is this what all those names are? Is sites, like locations where they have construction sites, where they are building facilities and structure to mass produce these goddamn ships that they want to sell to everyone. Because that's what they're building. They're building these ships they put on people to sever them, to create different personalities that will be able to do different chores throughout the day. So are these the locations? Have they been scouting small towns, small poor towns who don't have anything going on, who have a big unemployment rate? Is this what it is? Is this what cold harbor refers to? Some procedure, some ship, some personality they are programming to sell to people. And then they're going to build the factory in the cold harbor town, wherever it is, exploit the people there, and mass produce these goddamn ships. That's what I'm thinking. But also, if this much hate towards Lumon exists in this small town, for sure it exists in other small towns. For sure there are other people who hate Lumon enough that they want to see a revolution happen. And speaking of that, one of the very first shots we see of Cobel is her stopping in the town and brushing her teeth in a very non-corporate manner. You wouldn't see her doing that in the corporate floor, in the severed corporate floor. And at the same time as she's doing this, very like, I don't care. I don't care who sees me. I'm just doing my business. I'm going to spit to the side and throw the bottle away. I feel like it's the showrunners telling us, yeah, Cobel has broken away from Lumon. Cobel is doing her own thing. She's on her own mission, and she does not care about the goddamn tempers. And then at the same time, we look to a person that is like in a trailer-like thingy, and this person pours a little bit of a bottle inside a paper bag and then breathes them. And we see this later in the episode, that this is a drug that people in town use to forget life. Why else do people do drugs? And then we learn that this goddamn drug was given to them by Lumon as they were children to make them work longer. Sure, this doesn't happen anywhere else in real life. Sure. The fact that we are seeing the use of child labor as an exploitation by a big company, a big enterprise who goes to poor places, exploits their people and their children for labor, for their own profit, and then leaves them in misery is not by chance. They didn't include this aspect of the show and of this company by chance, because let's think about what this is meant to represent for real life, because this TV show is a big ass mirror to people. It's like, I feel like this is going to happen. I feel like it's going to get to a point in a later season, perhaps, and the audience that loves Severance is going to have a similar reaction to the audience who loves The Boys. Now, I've never watched The Boys. I get the gist, but I know that there was this meme going around season 4, I think, where people were like, is this play about us? Severance is about us. There are so many industries that rely on exploitation and child labor. We all use them on our phones. We dress with them in the morning. This show is not including this plot line just to make it interesting. It's a goddamn mirror. And I don't know that everyone has figured that out yet. And Cobel isn't even surprised by this man doing drugs. She's just like, yeah, thought so. Sure. And even to me, even the tossing of the bottle to the side was important. Why else would they put it there if it wasn't important? Because there's a huge discussion these days about, oh, here I am using my paper straw, recycling my plastics, using or buying used clothes, and for what? For the majority of the pollution in the world to be created by big ass companies and oil companies. And I feel like that's what they're saying. Like, why is Cobel, who is trying to fight, at this point, we assume she's trying to fight this big ass company cult, who is probably living misery wherever they pass. Why is Cobel going to worry about a goddamn plastic bottle? You know, I feel like that's what they were saying with that. And I saw it, and I get it, and I appreciate it. And then later at the cafe, we see that Cobel's boo is serving two clients. One of them is an old man, and to this old man, he gives a hidden bottle of that drug, and we learn that he sells this drug to people. Because what else are they going to do? What else are they going to do? They were probably gotten addicted to this drug by lumon when they were children, and now what do they have in town? What do they have that they can depend on apart from a drug that takes them out of reality? And then we see another lady who has like an oxygen tube and the oxygen bottle. And this is paired with an image a few moments later of the goddamn lumon factory. And we see those two big chimneys, and we can imagine what happened. And then we have to think, oh, where else have I seen this before? It's a goddamn mirror. And you better be looking at it, because it's talking to you. A big enterprise comes to a small town, exploits its people, and then takes all the profit and leaves them in misery. Never seen that before. The contrast between Cobel having a smartphone and still driving a beaten up car into a beaten up town. Never seen that before. And then Cobel gets into that damn cafe, and the wind just blows behind her, and it's telling the people in the cafe, and it's telling the audience, beware, because she's about to shake up this place. And honestly, just in that moment, her old boo mocking the corporate language that big companies use to distract people from the fact that they are firing them and leaving them in misery. Chef's kiss. And then as the guy drives through town, we see an old lumon building, like the red building still with a lumon, with Keir's something lumon. And it's like a constant reminder of who did this to them, who left them like this. And the building still probably belongs to lumon, so they can't even tear it down. And then we get to the house, all the shenanigans happen, and to be honest, when Cobel's cries kind of were meshed up with a whale's cry, I feel like it was supposed to be heartfelt. I found it funny. I thought it was funny. But yeah, the shenanigans happen. She finds her notebook inside the head of Keir. Because of course. And lumon is obviously as an eye on the house, is surveilling the house, and it's just another reminder that they are everywhere and they are constantly there. So they come after her, baby boo stays there, and she escapes, answers the call, starts talking to Mark, and she has the evidence with her. Now, where is this going? I feel like Harmony and Mark are not going to see eye to eye, because we see it when Harmony is in the factory with her boo. She says, "Did you know that Keir and I don't remember the name of the person met at the factory somewhere? Did you know?" Like, she's still reciting these facts as if she still believes in them and finds comfort in them and all that stuff. And I'm thinking, Cobel took the notebook because she's resentful towards lumon that they didn't give her the credit for her inventions. This is what she wants. She wants credit. She wants people to know that it was her brain who did this. She wants to be recognized for her achievements, for her inventions. She doesn't necessarily want to tear lumon down. She just wants to be on the throne with them, with the Keir family. And we even have that little exchange with her and Elena a few episodes before, where she told Elena, "Yeah, you were born into it. I worked my ass off for it." And now we are getting the evidence of what happened. Yes, Helena was born into the Keir family, but Harmony made them as they are today. So we have this clash of reputation, actually. It's not really that they have different morals or ethical values that they want to apply to Lumon. It's a clash of reputation and recognition. So I think this is going to be a problem when she works with Mark, because Mark wants Gemma out. Probably will want some kind of reparation, will want to make this public so that no one else has to go through what he went through. And I don't know how this is going to work with them, because to me, it feels like Cobel's problem can be fixed by the Kier family, can be fixed by Lumon, without it affecting their overall goal of having this massive enterprise of ships, of severance ships that they can sell to people for anything at this point, to be honest. But Mark's goal does interfere with Lumon. Mark's goal would expose Lumon as the exploitative cult shit that they do. And so Mark's goal would interfere with Harmony's goal, because if Mark gets what he wants, not only will he get Gemma out, he will be able to expose Lumon, and that would completely tear down Harmony's hopes of having her reputation cleared and receiving and being recognized for what she did. So I don't know how this is going to fit together. To be honest, I don't think it will. I think in the end, Harmony will potentially strike a deal with the Kier family to be given some credit for her inventions, and will betray Mark, because I don't see what else she could do. That's her life. Lumon is her life. And this is at the core of what she has always wanted. This is what she asked Helena when she went back for that meeting. She said that she wanted to be recognized. So I think Cobel will eventually betray Mark. Maybe align with him at the beginning, but then betray him. And if we think about the other players in this game, the ones inside the Lumon severed floor, we have already a person who is more aligned with Lumon, and it can't not be by chance, which is Dylan, the guy with the wife visitation rights. At this point, he doesn't want to upset Lumon, so I think he's in a perfect position to be a spy, to be technically working with the other Ines to get a revolution, to break out of the Lumon chains, but then betray them. We have 2 more episodes left. I feel like the next episode will be them getting together and forming a plan potentially to take down Lumon or something like that. And then episode 10 will be putting it in practice, like applying the plan and getting what they want. But I think they will clash because they don't want the same thing. And the only reason that Devon called her is because she doesn't have anyone else to call. So yeah, this is my theory for the end of the season and for where all of these characters are going to end up. My hope is that either Milkshake or Irving come to the rescue of Mark and Gemma and potentially Devon, because we know Irving is up to something. We don't know what it is. We don't know if he's a journalist, a detective, something like that, but he's up to something, and he must have some, maybe not influence, but someone on the inside, or he must know more than he's saying. There's something there. And we also have Milkshake, who I'm not sure if he's someone infiltrated. I'm not sure if maybe he is an employee, but he's turning against him. Something is happening with Milkshake. He will not be loyal forever. So these could be the 2 saving graces of the team, Irving and Milkshake. Let's see. I have high hopes for the ending of this season. I think it's been building up really well. The fact that we got Cobel's reveal kinda early when it comes to like season ending period is really good, because from now on the action will start to build and we will get something significant by the end, I hope. So yeah. Once again, I have to say I was really excited by the end of the episode, and I have high hopes. I think it's going to turn out really well. So yeah, let me know in the comments your crazy theories, what you think is going on and what's going to happen. Like, comment, subscribe, and join my Patreon. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow, probably, with Yellow Jackets. Let's see what kind of craziness they get up to now.